You're sitting with someone, no phone, no music, no distractions, and suddenly there's silence. Not peaceful silence, not calm silence. That heavy, awkward silence where your brain immediately goes, okay, say something before this gets weird. So you start searching. Anything. Random topics. Half-formed thoughts. You'd rather talk about the weather like it's breaking news than sit there doing nothing. Because for some reason, silence feels wrong. Like something is missing. Or worse, something is about to go wrong. And the funny part is, nothing is actually happening. But your brain reacts like it is. This is where things get interesting. Silence removes the script. Most of our conversations follow a pattern. There's a rhythm. One person speaks, the other responds back and forth. It gives you structure. But when that disappears, you're left without guidance. Now your brain has to figure out what this moment means, and it hates not knowing. So it starts guessing. Maybe the other person is bored. Maybe they're judging you. Maybe you said something weird earlier. Maybe they're just waiting for you to fix the silence. And suddenly, a quiet moment turns into a full mental investigation. The problem isn't the silence itself. It's the uncertainty. Humans are surprisingly bad at sitting in situations that don't have a clear meaning. When there's noise, your brain relaxes. It knows what's happening. It knows how to respond. But silence? Silence is open space, and your brain fills open space with thoughts. Usually not calm, peaceful thoughts, but slightly anxious ones that make you feel like you need to do something immediately. There's also a social pressure element here. From a young age, you're trained to keep conversations going. Silence is often treated like a failure. If things go quiet, it feels like you've done something wrong. So you rush to fix it, even if the other person is completely fine with the silence. And here's the twist. Silence isn't actually uncomfortable by itself. It becomes uncomfortable when you become aware of it. The moment you notice it, you start monitoring yourself. How you're sitting, where you're looking, whether your face looks normal, whether you should speak, you turn inward. And that self-awareness is what creates the awkwardness. Because now you're not just sitting there, you're performing stillness. Meanwhile, the other person is probably doing the exact same thing, both of you trapped in your own heads, assuming the other is more aware than they actually are. And here's something people don't realize. Comfortable silence is actually a sign of closeness. When you don't feel the need to constantly fill space, it means there's no pressure to prove anything. But getting to that point takes time. Because first, you have to survive the awkward version. That phase where silence feels like a test you're failing. So most people avoid it completely. They fill every gap, keep every conversation alive, never let things go quiet. Not because they love talking, but because they're slightly afraid of what silence might reveal, which leads to a slightly uncomfortable realization. Silence doesn't make people uncomfortable. It just exposes how uncomfortable they already are.